I mean, it's probably something that we'll eventually get to in conversation, but why do we need to have characters who we already know and then just randomly plop them into something where they don't belong? Like, why? There's no, every other character in a series like The Acolyte is original. So just make them all original. Like no one's out there going, please give me Ki-Adi-Mundi. Like that, no one's asking for that.
And I guess I appreciate just so he can be like dense and not know what's really happening. It's like, okay, I guess they kept him in character. That's good.
So that's the thing. I can see both sides of the issue of saying he's got the famous line of the Sith have not been, around for a millennia or whatever. So he is either clueless or he's in on it. So, but he's clueless. That's that. But also it wasn't necessary to have that conversation at all. Right.
Yeah, I wonder if they were just like, we want to do a cameo, but we don't want to like throw Yoda in early. So let's pick one of those schmoes from the council.
Yeah.
I was pulling for Yaddle, but there was no Yaddle.
No one wanted Yaddle. No one wanted Plo Koon.
Did I hear Yaddle? We're going to have another guy that looks just like Plo Koon, but then he'll be killed. So we'll go, oh, that's not Plo Koon.
It wasn't actual Plo Koon. It was Plo Keen.
Yeah.
Very different character.
Plo Keen.
Plo Keen. He's the best.
I like that my hair just gets floppier.
Yeah. Just, we're so exhausted by talking about all this. But no, it's the thing. Like,
I think it's good to like talk about more of it as an epidemic.
Yeah.
Than like a singular show, because this really is, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
This is happening constantly.
Yeah. It's too many. That'll be an episode I want to do with us at some point in time is let's talk about that there's too many shows. There's too many shows, too many writers. And this will be my kind of my main point is back in, let's see here, 2015, let's say, when you saw the Netflix N next to a movie on their thumbnail on Netflix, you knew it was going to be a banger. You knew it was going to be great. It's like House of Cards or whatever. When HBO was coming out with a new show, you knew it was going to be great. But now budgets have become so inflated. Writing ideas have become so stretched out that you're filling writing rooms with people who were barely assistants, before, or even like, what's her name? The Acolyte lady, like, she had one show that was well received, Russian Dolls, I think. And so, let's give her a Star Wars show. Like, what are we doing? What's going on?
So complicated.
Yeah.
And I think that's like, I won't talk about Acolyte much, but it's like Star Wars, and I think Marvel too, there's so many aspects to them that unless you're like a James Cameron or someone who can like understand every facet and know how it all fits together, like what, like these people are set up to fail.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, for sure. Well, there's no respect for the store. There's no respect, and I don't necessarily mean that in a like a way where they're being intentionally disrespectful, but there isn't respect for the IP and the history and the feelings that fans like us, who are literally born at the same time as Star Wars, that we have for it. And so there's not this level. They're like, oh, it would be like me just going, oh, I'm gonna make a movie about something I don't know anything about because it's super popular right now. And there's not a lot of effort to understanding it from not only the writers, but also the actors. The things that like the Acolyte folks said, and again, I don't want to like harp on it, but it was just so surprising that they had absolutely no idea of how this world worked. It's okay if good is good and evil is evil. It's okay if good is complicated and evil is complicated. But when you're trying to muddy all the waters and turn it into this mishmash of who's good, who's bad, that's not what I want to see in a Star Wars show. I want bounty hunters. I want fucking robots. That's what I want. It's like...
Right. So, the Acolyte was like, how do we do a proto-Anakin story?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
someone who wants to do good, but by trying to do good, really screws up.
Mm-hmm.
That's at the heart of the acolyte is soul.
Yeah.
And also that poor Korean man that didn't know English,
Right.
and they make him the main character.
Yeah.
And he just has to go, oh, sha, the whole time.
I am
love him, but
in love with, in particular, Japanese culture, but I've been to China. I've been all over the world, and I fucking...
well, good for you. Whoopity-doo. I haven't.
I love Asian culture.
It's amazing. It's great.
But the thing is, when you are telling a person who doesn't speak the language to say things, and I am literally squinting at the TV so I can hear better, so I can understand what the fuck he's saying, that's not okay. That's not helping anybody out.
It's not good for him.
No.
It's not good for anyone.
No.
It's like, so yeah, my friend out here, I was like trying to explain. I was just like, this poor guy, they made this guy who doesn't know English. Now he's trying to act in English. And it's like, you gonna tell me that if that was his native tongue, that he would have given those deliveries?
Right.
No, he wouldn't have. It would have been.
You sure about that?
Delivery.
Yeah. It's
You sure about that?
it's insane. It's crazy, but I mean I get what we're doing, and I've always said that and I'm choosing to still believe it, that I would rather live in a world that was trying very hard to create as much, equity and possibility and equality as possible, but the thing is, when it starts to become at the detriment of those you're trying to help, like, well, then you're making the problem worse.
Right. So it's like when you give Ben Shapiro ammunition.
Right.
Oops.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and
I think
it's
for
easy
that
ammo
side,
too. It's easy ammo. Like you're just
when he
feeding
can
them
go,
stuff. Yeah.
And people can go, yeah, he's right, and they go,
Yeah. You know what the problem
screwed up.
with a movie like Lightyear, with this whole issue with they're like, well, it didn't do well because
this whole issue with Lightyear is that the guy looked nothing like Buzz Lightyear, and why would you do a spin-off of Toy Story with Buzz Lightyear, but it's not Tim Allen,
right,
and it doesn't look like
yeah, right, because it's a toy. He doesn't age, right?
It's gonna work.
Yeah.
That's a hard sell right off the bat.
We went to the theater. No, we didn't. We watched it here. I get mixed messages. No
one went to the theater.
Well, because I get confused because I have a really, really nice TV. Kidding.
You have an OLED.
It's an OLED for sure. No, but I remember watching it, and admittedly, I've definitely not shifted, but just like, I'm edging in that like Shane Gillis sort of world. I can't stop. That early.
Why would you not edge?
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes you stronger if you just breathe it in.
Doesn't make you stronger. Get a little harder.
Dink, 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 dink. But I definitely am early onset Republican in some ways, because like I start to see things and I'm just like, I don't like how that makes me feel, but also like I have this like deep rooted sense of all the liberal qualities in me. But so watching Lightyear and having like the lesbian couple was like, well, it's whatever, like I get it, we're trying to do the thing, whatever. But what really bothered me about that movie was that the whole crux of the movie is they were trying to re-achieve light speed. They were trying to get out of there so that they could travel at light speed. And so they
it's a little bit, it's not Planet of the Apes, but it's a little bit like he blasts into
blasts. Oh, does he blast?
Does he blast into a dim future?
Well, every time he tries to achieve light speed, it takes him into the future, like 10 years or whatever.
Okay. Right.
But
so he keeps having to reintroduce himself and go, this is my situation.
So he gets back and the lesbian couple's pregnant, and he gets back and the lesbian couple's kid is 10 years old, and they get back and then they're having their 50th anniversary. That didn't bother me. What bothered me was that they went on this space expedition with no scientists that knew how to replicate light speed, but they did come with one that could make in vitro fertilization. Those two that makes no sense to me, that you're going to be in a place where you've brought a doctor who can make, lesbians pregnant, but you didn't bring a scientist who could get you back into light speed.
So you're checking a box.
Yeah, basically.
But why would,
I don't think a lot of people are looking at it that way, but I'm like, it doesn't make any sense,
Sure. No. But this is like genuinely, like, honestly, this is the conversation that needs to like be bridged, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where because right now we're living in this right or left, and it's like, and so the left right now is going, I'll accept anything and everything that is exclusionary, that will give a voice to someone that hasn't had a voice before.
Yeah.
And so we just applaud it. We go, yes, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. These people were downtrodden. Now they have a voice. But then also people on the other side go, but it was lazy and you didn't earn it and blah, 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 blah. And the people on this side go, but I don't have to earn it. Screw you.
Yeah.
And so this is the conversation.
Well, and that's the thing in story. I feel like you do need to earn everything. I think that
every story has to earn.
Yeah, if you look at
existence.
at a movie that was good, made sense, earned it, and was provocative and tore people up on both sides, it was like Brokeback Mountain. That's a story that really earned its place in representation or whatever you want to call it.
Because
told a good story.
Understood the mission where it's two dudes who had never done that, and then there they were, and they went, "Oh shit, I feel this thing," and we both feel this thing, and then it was the tussling.
And then they just edge and blast and edge and blast. It was